Good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise. We're up dead early and it is another fantastic Friday. And we're so happy you can join us. My name is Mark Daniels.
And I'm Gabrielle Gardner, wishing a happy Friday to you.
It's cold this morning, y'all. This is what we call it, sticky. It's sticky that if you left anything outside last night, it's wet. The draft is down, everybody. Cover the baby mole. Suzette, cover the baby mole, please. The draft is get in the mole, run around a little bit, go down to the back, and then come out wherever decide to come out, right? Cover the baby mole. It's cold, though.
Oh yeah, it's that crisp. I think we all forget that February is a very chilly month of the year, so it's on brand. It's appropriate.
It's appropriate. I am going to shout out all of the dedicated exercises out there who start walking from 4 a.m. I don't know how y'all do it, especially in this weather. Everybody on the road, you got your neon on, you got your headlights, you got your little cruise, whether you're in the east on Prince Charles, the west on Goodman's Bay, deep in the south walking, just enjoy the walk this morning. You're dedicated, you're an inspiration. Because I ain't going to be out there today. Maybe tomorrow.
That's a commitment, no matter what.
How was your week, Dab? Have you recovered from the Valentine aura?
As an exciting project that we're working on, so I ended up working my Valentine's Day away. We were hoping to go see that Bob Marlee movie, but of course, that was the day it came out, so we lost the chance to go. But we've decided that Valentine's Day will be this coming Saturday.
There you go.
So my Valentine's Day has moved to tomorrow, so I'll be able to report on Valentine's Day for you on Monday.
That's good. You are pouring love into your work, which will bear fruit for years to come. So.
I do have to wish a happy belated birthday to my cousin, Robin Ward, which she would have celebrated yesterday. And I feel like there was something else, but I can't remember. So.
Well, happy birthday to all of the birthday babies this week, celebrating this weekend. However you celebrate, go and enjoy yourself. It was, if you are smart, you probably did plan your Valentine's dinner on the weekend where it's less crowded, it's a little more quiet and intimate, and there's a couple of events going on. So enjoy your weekend.
You know what it is? I just want to shout out to the drama team at Bahamas Faith Ministries who is doing a special Valentine's Day performance tonight. So if you don't have plans, you want to swing by, get yourself some tickets. It promises to be very exciting.
Fantastic, and it's going to be a great weekend. But it's starting off with a great show today on Friday. So glad you're here to join us. We'll talk to the winners of the primary school category of Central Bank's Financial Literacy Video Essay Contest. It's always a mouthful. And we'll also talk to Children and Family Services in our Bridging the Gap segment.
Junior Achievement is here to tell us all about JA Month and other initiatives that they have going on. And we'll talk with life coach Shakeisha Johnson about how you can create a life that you will love. TCL invites you to the Grand Bahama Business Outlook happening next week, Thursday, February 22nd at the Grand Lucayan. Check our website, tclevents.com, for details on how to attend in person or virtually. Now, let's check on weather with Godfrey Burnside.
Weather at Sunrise, brought to you by NUA, the hands-on agency.
Thank you to everyone. Good morning, Bahamas. And your first look at weather sunrise. We're off to a cool start. We expect warmer temperature and through the weekend until about Sunday. But high pressure and other dormant feature across the islands. That's going to bring us some stable additional in another couple of days. We do expect a cool front to move in here on Sunday evening across Grand Bahama, Abaco, Bimini. Monday morning across New Providence, Eleuthera, and Andros, and in the central Bahamas, Exuma by Monday night. But today, lovely day and still weather-wise, partly sunny, a bit breezy, and warmer. Slight chance of a couple of showers, mainly in the southeastern islands along that frontal boundary. Your high temperature 79 degrees Fahrenheit. Tonight, a few patchy clouds over northwest and central Bahamas, still partly cloudy and mild over the southeastern islands. Your low temperature going down to 68 degrees Fahrenheit. And some regional highs and lows across the Caribbean. Barbados 87.78. In Jamaica 89.76. In Trinidad 19.74. And the Turks and Caicos Islands 90.79 and 68. Across North America, Atlanta 64 and 41. In Boston 37 and 26. In Miami 70 and 69. Dallas, Texas 60 and 34. And Toronto, Canada 33 and 19. As you go to the weekend, high pressure dominates, but shift towards the east by Sunday, making for a cool front. So lovely weekend, so weather-wise, partly sunny skies, warm temperatures, slight chance of a passing shower, But by Sunday evening across Grand Bahama, increasing cloudiness, showers, and possible isolated thunderstorms, that moving to Providence on Monday morning, and they'll move out by Monday evening across the islands in central Bahamas. So temperature head of the system will be in the lower 80s at daytime, upper 60s at nighttime. After that front passes, we're looking at the mid-70s daytime and the mid to low 60s at nighttime. That puts you up on your first look at weather at sunrise. I'm Godfrey Burnside. Back to you, Mark.
Thank you, Godfrey. For the fourth year, the Central Bank of the Bahamas engaged students in its Get Money Smart Bahamas Financial Literacy Video Essay Competition. This year's theme was, competition is essential to increase the supply of Bahamian banking services. Today we are featuring the primary school winners. And with us we have Marlee Poitier. She won first place from Palmdale Primary School. We have Milan Dennis. She got second place. She's from St. Francis and Joseph School. And then we have Shayne Hutchinson. She got third place, and she is from Nassau Christian Academy. Such powerful, smart ladies here. Good morning and welcome to Mamas at Sunrise. How y'all doing?
Good.
Thank you for being here. Everybody's all nicely dressed for school, ready to go. I learned so much from your videos. Just congratulations again on your successes. Let's jump right in. So Marlee, did you understand the theme right away? Competition is essential to increase increase the supply of Bahamian banking services. Did you understand that right away?
No, I didn't understand, but my dad helped me to do the research and then I understood.
See, that's the power of parents. That's what we're here for. I wish all children recognize the wisdom of their parents. What about you, Shayne? Did you understand it right away?
Not at first, but then my godfather explained it to me and looked up the meaning of some of the words like competition and essential, and then I began to understand it.
See, the help again. And what about you, Milan?
Actually, I didn't understand it at first because
You had to dig in a little bit, and you had to get some help from your parents as well, because I don't even understand it when I first read it. So, but you did very well. I watched your video. What did you learn as you did your research for the video?
I learned about how complex the banking industry is. Yeah, it's a lot.
It is a lot. I watched your video and I learned more than I think I ever knew before. What about you, Marlee? What did you learn doing your video?
I learned that banking services are important and that there is a lot of competition.
There is a lot of competition, and what I've learned from all of your videos is that competition is better. So that's something I learned. Shayne, what is something you learned from creating your video?
I learned about the customer service and most of the stuff about the banks in the Bahamas that I didn't know about.
All right. I think I'm going to save all of your videos and watch it on a daily basis so that I am reminded of how great the banking service is once there's competition, because we, the customer, we win, right? So Marlee, I want to talk about your video. You gave several reasons why competition is good for banking. Can you tell us about any one of those?
There are many reasons, but my favorite one is new ideas, because I like the way that they came up with new ideas for services and bank accounts for little kids.
That's awesome. It is great to have new ideas, fresh ideas, and competition is one of the ways that we're able to do that. And I love the way you presented it in your video. Milan, in your video, you shared a few new ideas about how banks can improve customer service. Do you want to mention any of them?
Yes. I spoke about how there should be a separate line for those who are physically challenged. And I also spoke about how there should be wheelchair access for those who need it.
Yes, very, very helpful ideas, because there are different types of people that need to access the bank, access their services, and we should accommodate them all, right? Maybe they should have one specifically for amazing primary school ladies who knows their banking industry well. So you have a VIP line for you guys. Shayne, you mentioned that you compete as an athlete, correct? So how did that experience help you with your video this year?
I noticed that when you compete on the track to win, it's kind of the same way with banking services, because you're trying to see which bank can attract more customers and keep those same exact customers for a very long time.
That's wonderful. I love the way you presented that. It made it so clear to me, and I once again enjoyed the video of seeing you on the track. So I just wanted to know, how did it feel to win? How did it feel to get first place?
I felt amazing. It felt good to make first place.
Yeah, and you made first place, and you have with you second place and third place. How did you feel about your second place finish?
It felt exhilarating to know that I was second to the winner, and every time I watch my video, it reminds me of all the hard work I did for it.
Exactly, and you should celebrate that, right? And out of all of the competition participants across the country, you are the top 3, so that's something to definitely celebrate. Shayne, how did you feel about you winning third place?
I felt happy, excited, all emotions.
All emotions, that's good, that's good. Because it's, once again, I'm sure it's a difficult process going through, first of all, learning about what the banking industry is about. Then you have to work hard to pull all the information together. Then you got to record it. Then you've got to edit it. Tell me, what was your favorite part about creating your video?
Probably working with my godfather. He is Superintendent Leonardo Boros. He works at the college. He's a very good helper. And I like that my mother asked him if he could help me because I really thank him, because without him, I wouldn't be here.
Oh, look at that. You got to give people their flowers and show gratitude. And we're grateful to him and all of your family members for helping you, because then you wouldn't be here with us without them. Tell us, what was your favorite part of making your video?
My favorite part of making my video was my dad helping me, because he is a great editor and he always makes videos. So it's an inspire to me.
Oh, there you go. I need to bring some of my content for y'all to edit a little bit. That was very well put together. And what was the favorite part of making your video?
When I got to edit it, because it was, for me, I really liked how I went to other places. It was really fun.
Yeah, I liked where you had your monologue and it did the nice cutaways. The cutaways are very clean. There was no skipping in your words, and once again, a very great information that you presented, and I loved all the visuals. So there's some folks who are probably watching who said, I want to be just like you guys. I want to be like Marlee, Milan, and Shayne. What advice do you have for children who may want to participate in this competition?
I advise them to do really good research so you can understand it very, very well, because when you first see the topic, you don't understand it, but then when you research it, you really have to research very hard so you can understand it.
You got to dive in head first, right? Just sleep with the book on your head and the information will just pass right through. What advice do you have to any other primary school children who may want to enter this competition?
My advice would be for them to put in a lot of hard work, because it was very hard for me.
Hard work pays off, and we're seeing the benefits of hard work and support. What about you? Any advice for primary school students who want to enter this competition?
I would also recommend them to go, because they could learn a lot about it and they could win cash prize. But if they want to win, they should study really hard to win it.
That's awesome. All great advice that anybody could take with them in their lives. I just want to know, is there anybody you want to recognize? Is anybody you want to say thank you? I don't know if there's anybody from your school, any of your teachers or your classmates, anybody you want to thank especially for helping you to get to where you are right now? So which school are you in?
Palmdale Primary
And who's
School.
your teacher?
Miss Cargill.
You want to say good morning to Miss Cargill and your friends?
Yes.
What about you? Anybody from your school you want to say hi to and say thank you to?
I want to say thank you to my teacher for supporting me, my godfather, Leonardo Boros, my mother, my father, and my brother for all supporting me.
Fantastic. And what about you? Anybody you want to thank?
I want to thank my mom for helping me through.
That's awesome.
all.
And we want to thank everybody who got you here this morning, because we know it's extra early. You're up, you're dressed, you're looking sharp, you're on point, you're teaching the nation about competition in the banking services. And I want to thank y'all just for doing that work. If you didn't make those videos, put in that effort, push through to the end, then I wouldn't have learned so much. And there's another generation of primary school winners waiting to be just like you guys. So congratulations. Thank you for being here this morning. And give yourselves a round of applause, right? And your parents a round of applause, and everybody that helped. So Marlee, Milan, Shayne, congratulations again. Thanks for being with us on the show, and we look forward to great things coming out you in the future. Thanks again. You're welcome. You're watching Mamas at Sunrise, and we'll be right back.
Comfort Suites Paradise Island is the best kept secret in the Bahamas. Located directly next door to the Atlantis Resort, you'll receive all the privileges of an Atlantis guest with all the benefits of a Comfort Suite stay. Enjoy everything Atlantis has to offer, including Aquaventure Water Park, plus all the amenities of Comfort Suites. Free Wi-Fi, free breakfast daily, and kids stay, play, and eat free. Visit ComfortSuitesPI.com. Meet Leno, your bridge to the future. Wealth planning, investments, corporate services, trust services, pension administration, fund administration, outsourced accounting, and payroll. When you think of financial solutions, think of Leno. Local or international, company or individual, Leno can help. Our team of skilled professionals has the experience and expertise needed for you to strive. Your goals are our goals and our priority. Leno will guide you to the right financial solution with the knowledge, resources, and support you need. Give us a call at 242-396-3225 or email us at info@lenobahamas.com to get started. Visit our website, www.lenobahamas.com, for more information today. Leno, your bridge to the future.
Hi, I'm Ria Christina, and I'm super excited to be the new host of You and Your Money, local international banks that has actually been closing some of their branches. It actually gives me an opportunity to share my views, my take on the financial matters. Even when we think about what's happening globally, we still have a lot of work to do in terms of having to educate business owners as to the importance, the economic impact, and how it is that we can look at improving the Bahamian economy. $1 billion. That's how much we spend every year importing food in this country. It also gives me an opportunity to have conversations, and that's meaningful conversations with thought leaders within our community, even having to see how it is that we can work together or even the opportunities that may exist for many Bahamians. So I'm excited to be here and looking forward to the great conversations that's to come.
African Things is your one-stop shop for everything African. Make a bold fashion statement with vibrant colors and intricate patterns inspired by the beauty of Africa. Find trendy contemporary looks for every occasion and enjoy custom tailoring. Shop jewelry, purses, art, cosmetics, and much more. African Things is located in the Dugard Plaza, Palmdale, next to McDonald's. Open Tuesday to Saturday, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Come get your African Things.
Welcome back. The Children and Family Services Division seeks to ensure that children in the Bahamas have a physically safe environment. Here to talk with us about this are Stephanie Hanna, social worker at the Children and Family Services Department in the Department of Social Services, as well as Sylvia Hanna, a social worker in the Children and Family Services section of the Department of Social Services. Good morning, ladies, and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning.
This is such an important topic, and I think it's a widely misunderstood one. So I'll jump in, and either of you can answer this. But for the person who is listening, what is child abuse?
Okay, so child abuse is a person's, okay, let me start over. So child abuse is the lack of doing something, actually doing something, or the lack of doing something that results in the child being harmed. And so it's various forms of child abuse. We have neglect, which is most prevalent, where we got reports in the Child Protection Unit. We have sexual abuse. We have physical abuse, emotional abuse, and verbal.
You mentioned that neglect is rather prevalent. Are there any specific kinds that you see just so often?
We have educational neglect, and then we have parents failing to failing to ensure that their child or children have access to medical care. We have parents might have an inability to feed children, make sure that they're clean, as well as they leave them unsupervised for several or hours or even days. So that really places the child or children in harm as well.
For the layperson who perhaps they witnessed something, but they're not sure it's serious enough to be reported, what's the, I guess, a handy measure that they can use to assess whether or not they should reach out?
For us at the Child Protection Unit, once you suspect it, we would encourage the general public to report it. And this would allow us to do our investigation. So the thing is, we don't want their abuse to linger on. So it's better for us to rule it out rather than it continues and you not report it.
I'm sure it can be intimidating for a lot of people, particularly if they live in a neighborhood, if they live close to someone and then they feel that they ought to report it. Why is it so important for people to take that risk and go ahead and call the Department of Social Services?
First of all, the call can be anonymous, so they don't necessarily have to give their name. But it's important for us to report child abuse because if it lingers, it can have damaging effect on the child. Children rarely lie about it, and if you see something that you're not comfortable with that is happening to that child, it's important for us as a community to report it, and like Ms. Hanna said, to ensure that it is investigated. Children tend to live in silence when they are being abused, and it should be reported because it can have lasting psychological effect, even into adulthood. Mm-hmm. And it causes a lot of issues in relationships with, the people who they should trust, even in their future. And so it should be reported. It's important to report anything that you suspect.
Conversely, what happens when these matters go unreported?
Again, if it's unreported, the child suffers. They suffer in silence. They feel as though nobody cares about them, and they develop a lot of psychological issues. The child feels rejected in some way. They feel like nobody cares. And the adults around them are responsible to ensure that they are safe. And so even if it's not a close relative, someone should report it. And we were a society that kept a lot of secrets back in the day. Mm-hmm. We knew of things that happened, but we didn't report it. But it's time to break the silence and actually help our little ones, because a lot of them are suffering and they need the help.
For somebody who's thinking, maybe even now, that they're watching and they realize, hey, there's something going on, I want to say something about it. How do they, carry out that process of making a report?
Okay. Well, they can visit our office. We're located on East Street South and Malcolm Road at the back of Checkers, the Prime Plaza. They could call us at 604-4281. They could call the national hotline at 422-2763. They could text 711. And so when persons do call, we do encourage them to just give us as much information as possible. They don't have to give us their name. However, in order for us to conduct a thorough investigation, we need a solid foundation to start on. So we'll ask the complainant to provide their name. If they don't want to, that's okay, but at least a telephone number if we need further information. We would want the child's name, their sex, what school they go to, the parent's name, who's the perpetrator. Is the perpetrator still in the household? If not, where do they live? So because we work very closely with the police and SCAN. So as much information as they can provide, we would appreciate it. So with that being said, it isn't as if when they call we're asking 52 questions. We're just trying to get as much information, because if this child is in imminent danger, we need to know where we can locate this child, where we can locate the perpetrator, to make sure that justice is served on behalf of the child.
Speaking of, so when you receive a report, especially about something very egregious, what are those next steps? What does the Department of Social Services do?
Okay, so like I stated earlier, we work closely with the police. So in some matters, we go out in the community, we request police assistance. If need be, we go to the courts to secure orders to remove the children immediately. And so let me just say this: when we say removals, the department's stance is removing children from the community is our last resort. So we really want the community to know, if you call, we don't want you to feel as if you're at fault if the child is removed. Once we remove the child, that was our last resort.
Yeah.
And the child's safety really is our priority. So it isn't anything personal. We want to make sure that these children are safe. Because in some instances, you will have that once a child is abused, if this isn't reported, these children are in the community, they go to school. So when they act out and have behavioral issues, your child who might grow up in this ideal household would be adversely impacted as well. So child abuse is everyone's issue.
I love that. And finally, you know, sometimes when you think about abuse, particularly when it comes to relationships, there are dynamics that are very familiar. On the other hand, what makes a positive relationship between children and their parents?
Love.
Yes.
We have emotional abuse and verbal abuse, right? If parents would stop degrading their children, stop belittling them, calling them names, and they show them love, they give them the emotional support that they need, that will solidify that relationship between parents and child. Support your child. Affirm them. Especially, a lot of them are being neglected and rejected. Some parents are working long hours. They don't have time to be home with their child. And so relatives all need to hover around that child and love that child, because today in the society that we are in, a lot of things are happening because of the lack of love. The children aren't getting the attention that they need. And so parents should, if nothing else, show their child love.
I think that is the absolute perfect note to end on. I want to say thank you, ladies, for joining me, but more importantly, for the work that you are doing to keep our children safe.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
The Your device is very affordable. It allows you to increase your internet connectivity. You are able to do away with the buffering, say goodbye to the dead spots. It gives them a much more stable connection. Their customers are able to view their digital menus. The establishment is able to stream. It allows for everyone, the customers and the business operators, to have a much more robust and stable internet connectivity.
I used to think of the bank as my personal ATM machine. If I wanted a new car, new furniture, a weekend trip to Miami, no problem, just max out the credit card or top up my loan. I was a big baller until I realized that 75% of my salary was going to pay back all those loans. Fidelity's personal financial coaching was the best solution. Fidelity gave me a plan with a debt consolidation loan that has a built-in savings that pays 5% interest. I now only have one low monthly payment plus money in my pocket. Give Fidelity Bank a call at 356-7764 in Nassau or 352-6676 in Freeport. Visit any of Fidelity's locations or visit a website at fidelitygroup.com.
Hey, Mom, can you look after Kaylee?
Sorry, I'll be out for a while dealing with my home and car insurance.
What? You know there's a newer way, right?
A new way?
Where have you been? Look, go to newerinsurance.com, log in, get your quote, buy your insurance, done. You can even use it to manage your claim.
Oh? By the way, it's not newer. It's N-U-A. Where's she been?
Do it anyway with NUA Insurance Agents and Brokers.
Get ready for the 25th Grand Bahama Business Outlook, February 22nd at 8:45 at the Grand Lucayan Resort. Keynote address by DPM the Honorable Chester Cooper and a powerhouse roster of speakers including the Honorable Ginger Moxie, Shakira Johnson, Rupert Haywood, Dennis DeVoe, James Carey, Glenette Fowler, Juan Hernandez, Ian Rolle, and many more. Secure your spot today at tclevents.com.
Good morning and welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. We're up dead early on another fantastic Friday, and we're at the mid-show, and you stuck with us, so thank you so much. My name is Mark Daniels.
And I'm Gabrielle Gardner, hoping that you are still having a happy Friday.
I enjoyed that first half of the show, highlighting the winners of Central Bank's Financial Literacy Video Essay Competition, showing what you can produce when you have children who are excited, supported, driven, all of those things. And then we also had a segment which discussed kind of the flip side, is what can happen when a child is not supported, not encouraged, and is not pushing through obstacles the way they should be able to. And I think it's a discussion that we all should be aware of and having. I'm glad that we had them both in the first half of the show. What do you think?
Absolutely. I think, like you said, you see the two sides of the coin. You see what happens when children do receive that love and that support and are in an environment that nurtures their giftedness. And then, unfortunately, we see what happens when children are neglected and not given the support and resources that they need. So once again, if you see something, say something, but also go out of your way to show support. Sometimes that support may not come from their parents, but there is a mentor, there is a grandparent, there is a relative, an aunt, an uncle, somebody who can pour into their lives and intervene. So it could be you. You could be that hero in their life.
You are that hero. Right? And to the parents, the guardians, the loved ones, the relatives, I know it isn't easy to raise children, and especially when the children are just like you, right? Which means that they carry the same characteristics, maybe a little bit of some of the trauma that you've carried that maybe you haven't resolved. So maybe work on you first, and maybe that's the key. Look at how you can find a way to take that extra breath, to take 10 seconds before you say something that might be mean. Before you strike out of anger, just embrace out of love. And it's easier said than done, but you can be the person to make the difference in that child's life. You can say something to your friend, your family, it could be your auntie, your mommy, your daddy, your grand, anybody, and that can make the difference. But try to deal with you first, because I think that's where it all comes from, right?
And I think we ended on the perfect note, which is love.
Love.
Love is the answer. Love one another. The Bible says that love covers a multitude of sins. And so just love on the people in your life and see if that love doesn't come back to you.
Good God, what a word. I love that. We've got more coming up in our second half. Junior Achievement is here to tell us about JA Month and some other initiatives that they have going on.
And we'll talk with life coach Shakeisha Johnson about how you can create a life that you love. But before all that, we'll take our second look at weather with Godfrey Burnside.
Weather at Sunrise, brought to you by NUA, the hands-on agency.
Thank you, Gabrielle, and good morning, Bahamas. And your second look at weather at sunrise. High pressure dominating the feature across the islands, so we can expect stable conditions into Sunday. We may have a cold front that should move across Grand Bahama, Abaco, Bimini on Sunday night, across New Providence on Monday morning. That's going to bring along some showers and possible thunderstorms across the islands through Monday over the northwest Bahamas into central Bahamas by Monday night into Tuesday. In your marine forecast today, those winds east to southeast at 15 knots, sea 3 to 5 feet northwest Bahamas, easterly at 15 knots, sea 3 to 5 feet over the central and southeastern islands. On Saturday, those winds become southerly at 10 to 15 knots, sea 2 to 4 for the northwest and central Bahamas, southeasterly at 15 knots, sea 3 to 5 feet over the southeastern islands. Then on Sunday, ahead of that cold front, those winds southwesterly at 15 to 20 knots, seas 4 to 7 feet in the northwest Bahamas, 10 to 15 knots, sea 2 to 4 feet over the central Bahamas, southerly at 10 to 15 knots, sea 2 to 4 feet over the southeastern islands. Your tides. You expect a low tide at 7:13 this morning. Next high tide will be at 1:01 this afternoon. Low again this evening at 7:16. Sunset 6:02 this evening. Rising more at 6:43. UV index 7. Your water temperature 72 degrees Fahrenheit. And your moon phase for its quarter. Your extended alert weekend start weather-wise into Sunday afternoon. Partly sunny skies, warm temperatures. Slight chance of passing shower. The temperature daytime will be in the low 80s, at nighttime upper 60s. That cold front passes through, brings us some showers and thunderstorms on Sunday night into Monday. Then we have a cool down. The temperature now going to the mid-70s daytime and the low to mid-60s at nighttime. That's Bertrand and final look at weather at sunrise. I'm Godfrey Burnside. Back to you, Mark.
Thank you, Godfrey. February marks National Junior Achievement Month. And here to talk with us about this is Bashar Isaacs. She is the Alumni Council President of JA Bahamas. Good morning and welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning, how are you?
It's great. It's always good to be here talking about JA. I've done JA in the past. I think we talked about my failed fruitcake. I think I probably still have some under my bed somewhere. But let's talk about the Alumni Association. But first, tell us what Junior Achievement is.
So Junior Achievement is a youth global organization that helps kids strengthen their financial literacy and entrepreneurship skills.
Awesome. And you know, when I was in high school and JA came around, it just seemed like the thing to do. It had a very different energy about it. You got to network with students from other schools, some who I still have friends to this day that we were in the same JA class. They still have fruitcake under their bed as well. So this month is National JA Month. And so what are some of the activities that you got going on?
JA has a lot planned, and I'm here to talk about the alumni side of things.
Good.
We are having an alumni registration drive going on right now. So all we want people to do is go on our website, jabahamas.org, click the alumni tab, and sign up.
So how I'm curious, how much of an alumni does JA have? How many years has JA been around? How many years?
What? JA has been around since the 70s in Nassau.
That sounds like
and we
hundreds,
branched out
thousands of alumni, right?
It has been. Our alumni are so successful in their fields today. So we really want to reconnect with them and really see how they're doing.
And why is this important to JA, not only just the Alumni Association, but the current members of JA?
I feel like they could provide such good mentorship, even if it's not one-on-one, just sharing their stories and experiences. Because mind you, JA isn't just a 10th through 12th grade program. We go from JA babies now, so you can really be born into this.
That's true. I think if I came around, my advice would be don't make fruitcake. So tell us, how are you going to reach out to the alumni in the country? There's a national call that you guys are putting out?
Yes, there is. We have been trying so hard to get everyone just to know that all you have to do is go and sign up for the alumni drive. Like, we take care of everything else. It's just a quick 2-minute form. You fill out some information and we reach out to you after that.
That's fantastic. Where do people find this form? Is it online?
Yes, it is. All you have to do is go on jabahamas.org and click the alumni tab.
So I want to dig a little more into JA. How many islands does JA operate in?
JA currently operates on almost every island of the Bahamas. It's just different stages. So the company program that you see the 10th through 12th graders like yourself with the failed fruitcake.
Don't call me out.
We have that on Andros, Eleuthera, Nassau, a few islands, but all in all, JA is almost on every island in the different stages that we have.
Awesome. And tell us a little bit about some of the other stages. Some parents may be watching who want to get their children involved.
Well, there's JA for babies, there's JA Aspire. Honestly, from they go to school, they can be in JA.
They can do JA, right? Yeah. I can imagine the young kids, the JA primary school kids. What type of projects do they typically work on?
Well, in the primary school, I believe they just learn about it. So they get familiar with the terminology. You know, we don't force them to sell fruitcake.
Right?
We teach them what it would be if they bought fruitcake at a certain price and sell it at another for sure.
Yeah, that's good. You got to get those skills in early, right? So for the alumni that you have connected with, what have been some of the positive outcomes so far. Are there any alumni you want to highlight, or just any experience that you think is valuable?
Oh
for us?
man, if I start to highlight some alumni and don't highlight all, they
Let's
will.
go, call them out.
But no, honestly, our alumni have been so successful, and so far, for the ones that I have been able to reach last year, we've done socials, we've done a lot of networking events. We've had Dr. Kitty come and do series because she's an excellent physician. She talked about how to not get too stressed out during the holiday season. We had that down at Crypto Isles in November. So I'm looking for more of that to come, and that's why we want people to sign up so we have more initiative to throw these events.
That's fantastic. What have been some of the common things you've been hearing from alumni as they've come around and interacted with each other and learned more about what's currently going on with JA?
Well, one, and it's so amazing, but they do have their own businesses. Most of them, like, they will still work their 9 to 5s if they need to, but most of them have their own business. Most of them are still in touch with people who they went J from. Some of them collab businesses at the end. You're a pastry chef and I do catering. So we've seen some meaningful connections happen at our socials.
See, that's what it's all about, right? You're networking, you're passing down to the next generation. But it's also a testament of how JA would have contributed to their understanding of business and entrepreneurship. I did the science route. I did nothing with business. But I do remember what we learned in JA, and you know, I carry out some of them to this day. But I think I should sign up for the alumni program so I can continue to network and learn from other folks. Are there any other sort of networking or social events coming up this year?
Well, this year we do have a lot planned. We want to have one big welcome back party for our alumni as soon as we finish finalizing everything that we're doing with the registration drive. We want to start the planning for that. So hopefully in summer I come back to tell you all about it.
Awesome. So I assume you're also a JA alumni yourself, right?
Of course.
Right.
I love JA. That's why I'm always here early mornings whenever you want to talk about it.
Here we go. So tell us a little bit about your experience in JA and just how that's led to where you are in your life currently.
As funny as it sounds, and looking back, I can't believe it, but JA taught me so much. Like the simple fact that finance does not do payroll. It's human resource. I thought, hey, if you deal with the money, you're the one paying me. But right. And the shares, I can't believe I was in grade 10 buying shares. JA takes none of the money that you make, so whatever we made, we got back based on the amount of shares. Oh, I never bought less than my max amount of shares after my first year.
That's a great practice.
It is, and you understand that at such a young age, in 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade, you're just refining it. You go from just a member to hopefully holding a VP position by the time you're in the 12th grade.
See, there you go. Building the next generation of business owners, entrepreneurs, one JA group at a time. So for all of the alumni who are watching or the parents who want to get their children involved, remind me again, how do we find out more information and more specifically sign up to be a part of the Alumni Association?
We have laid out everything so beautifully, so easy to reach. All you have to do is type in jabahamas.org and click the alumni tab. The alumni registration drive will be the first thing you see. And it's not just exclusive to those who are in JA. Even though we're trying to call you back, if you want to volunteer with us, if this is something that you want to get into, you're welcome as well.
Fantastic. And it's great to give back. Those in the professional community, in the business community, get involved, even if you weren't in JA, like you said, because you never know who you might meet, what you might learn, or the next business person, businessman, businesswoman they might inspire. So thank you again, Bashar, for being here this morning. Looking forward to the next mix and meet and mingle for the alumni crew, and just for all the great things coming out of JA this year.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here. You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise, and we'll be right back.
Here are 3 young people who stopped attending high school and got disengaged in their educational journey due to the pandemic. Today, they are proudly taking their walk all over the place because they took advantage of BTVI's Smart Start initiative. All high school students in New Providence and the Family Islands can participate in free hands-on learning to improve employability. Learn basic literacy and numeracy skills and earn a BTVI certificate in automotive mechanics, beauty and construction trades, or fashion in only 14 weeks for full-time participants or 24 weeks for part-time. Don't count yourself out. Do what they did and enroll today. Email smartstart@btvi.edu.ds or call 502-6300 so you can take your walk anywhere in life.
One thing, 2 things. Blue thing, all things. Things that are small, things that are grand, things that fit just right in the palm of your hand. Fox Hill Nursery, a large selection of garden supplies. If you can see it in your mind, you can find it at Fox Hill Nursery.
Don't spend hours sending individual messages to your customers. Use SMS messaging instead. With Alive Business SMS messaging, you can send personalized messages to hundreds or even thousands of recipients instantly. It's quick, effortless, and cost-effective. Plus, it ensures that your messages are delivered directly to your customers' cellular phones, guaranteeing higher engagement. Save time and boost your outreach with SMS bulk messaging. Call Alive Business at 601-8911 in Nassau or 602-8811 in the Family Islands.
Welcome back. Our next guest helps powerful women to create impactful, fulfilling lives by walking them into greater clarity, focus, and self-awareness. She is life coach and my friend, Shakeisha Johnson. Good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning. Thanks so much for having me on this morning.
Of course. So what led you to coaching?
It actually started with my personal healing journey. And just embracing the women around me that were on a similar journey. And so after helping a few women navigate through a challenge I did called 100 Days of Singleness, someone actually told me I was coaching before I knew what it was. And that's how it all began.
How do we, it sounds like a tall order, but how do we create a life that we love?
Well, I think the number one thing is knowing what that looks like. Because a lot of times when I speak to not just women, but people in general, a lot of the ideas that we have around what brings happiness or fulfillment are things that people project onto us or things that we learn culturally, socially, but we have never really investigated what brings fulfillment in depth enough to know what that looks like for us personally. So it begins with knowing, and then it begins with execution. So you know, you execute, and then you live it out.
I don't want to dive in too much. I don't want to give people free counseling or free coaching. But I do wonder, are there any typical steps that you take through the process? So you said the first thing that you have to do is know. Is there a 12-step program to knowing your true self and finding your happiness?
Well, that would be great, wouldn't it? If you could just follow steps and get to that place. But what I've found is that every journey is so unique and nuanced because we have to take into account what your life experience has been like. What are the things that are informing your decisions? What are the things that are telling you who you are, what you're worth, and how you ought to show up in the world? And getting an understanding of that is crucial for really creating an action plan that is authentic to who that person is and allows them to fully step into it. But if I can give like just general advice, I would say take the time to know yourself. Spend time with yourself. Spend time reading and understanding things about how you grew up. Spend time in your healing process. Like when you recognize that there are patterns and behaviors that you don't like, begin to investigate them. When did this start? Have I always been this way? What are the things that led me to this place? And really begin the work. Get a therapist, because it's okay.
Yeah.
Because
it's 2024. Okay. You can go to therapy.
It's okay. There are compounding things that are happening, and it's okay if you need help, if you need that assistance. It doesn't make you weak. Just get the help you need.
Speaking about the help that we need, some folks might say, my life, I'm not important enough, or I don't have such big goals that I need a coach. Who is coaching for?
If you have things that you want to execute that require you to step outside of yourself, and what I mean by that is if you have things that, are bigger than just you. And the thing is, all of us have things that are bigger than ourselves.
Yes.
even if that's motherhood, even if that's parenting, those things require you to step outside of your own, selfish ambitions, your own personal desires, in order to show up in a way that helps your community, helps your family, helps the world around you. And so I just think everyone is big enough. If you are willing to invest in yourself, if you're willing to invest in your future, then it's for you. It doesn't mean that, you are going to have a Hollywood star or a bestseller in order to benefit from coaching. But if you want a life that's fulfilling, a life that exhausts the fullness of who you are, because that's the real thing that we're doing. We're exhausting the fullness of who we are by showing up authentically and powerfully and in ways that are fulfilling and enriching, not just to ourselves, but our community. And that's what coaching is for. It's helping you get from where you are to where you want to be.
I love that. This is powerful. How do you help people find clarity? Because clarity is one of those things that I guess leads to a sense of purpose and leads to a sense of fulfillment. But it's very elusive for a lot of us.
It's elusive for me too, because I get into, we heard people talk about analysis paralysis. So sometimes we have this thing that we want to do, or we have this goal that we want to meet, and we're sitting down and we're just staring at it. It's like, okay, I need to do this, I need to do that. And we're so entrenched in the steps that we're not taking time to sit with the process of it. And everything does not have to happen overnight. Yes. Word to myself. But when we begin to look at things objectively, not as adding value to ourselves, because that's the thing a lot of times. We start businesses because we want to feel like we're worth something. We start initiatives because we need to feel important. And when we operate from that place, then what happens when the business doesn't work out? What happens when the idea doesn't pan out the way that you may want to? You need to find value that's exclusive from the things that you do, because otherwise you're going to be showing up for validation and not for impact. And that is not what we want to do. That's not how we're trying to show up, right?
I really just wish I brought a notebook to this interview, because I'm getting so many good nuggets.
Well, hopefully they can use that.
Yeah. So you definitely should sign up. But do you have any success stories from previous clients that you've worked with?
Yes. And it's funny because every time it's my birthday, it's like they're like, oh, it's her birthday, let me share what's going on. So every birthday I get this gift of like people telling me like, hey, after the program I was able to do this. But one of my favorites is a lady that I coached her, and she also did my Holy Spirit Healer program, which is exactly what it sounds, just like Holy Spirit healing us, right? And since then, she has shared with me incrementally. So I've been able to journey with her even beyond coaching. And that has been a gift to me, because I've seen not just the way that she has produced things that are powerful. So she wrote a book that was able to help women heal, but also just watching her language change, watching the way that she speaks about herself, the way that she speaks about her future, her children. Those are the things that just blow my mind, because sometimes we can discount, and I think that's what holds people back a lot of times. It's discounting the value that we bring to others and the impact that love and kindness really can make in someone's life. And so a little backstory on her, without sharing all of her business, right? But it's in her book, so it's kind of out there. But she was a teenage mom, and that was a big challenge for her in learning to love herself and forgive herself for things that society looks at as like, you're done. You're done. You're a teenage mom. You failed. That's it. But she reclaimed her story, and the redemptive power of just embracing the fullness of who she is in God has shown up in so many ways. And she's actually getting married this month.
Hey.
To someone who sees her, and you can just tell when there's this genuine love and friendship and connection. And I'm so proud of her. That's one of my favorite stories of triumph, I'll call it. But yeah.
Look at you, coaching people to personal victory. Okay, I'm sure people are curious. Do you only work with women?
No. So the one-on-one, when I do in-person session, I mostly work with women, personal reasons. But I do workshops, and men are invited to those. But women just reach out to me more. So I work with who comes, and a lot of my clients just happen to be women. I have worked a lot with men, but their focus would be more so on just creating new habits. And so women come to me a lot for personal development. Hey, I want to build confidence. I want to show up differently in motherhood. I realize I'm losing my temper a lot. So they show up a lot for the personal stuff. And a lot of times when men come to me, they're like, hey, I want to do this thing.
Yeah,
so
more guided. I'm going to interrupt you because we're just about out of time, but I want you to tell people how they can get in touch with you.
Okay, so you can visit ShakeishaJohnson.com, and all of the links to my socials are there. If you want to go direct to my socials, I'm Shakeisha Johnson on everything. It's not Twitter anymore, it's X, Facebook, Instagram. And yeah, shoot me a DM if you have questions, and see you soon.
See, this is what you need. This is what you need to take your life to the next level. We just went through Valentine's Day. If you had a rough couple of days, this is a great new leaf to start off on. Shakeisha, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
Get ready for the 25th Grand Bahama Business Outlook, February 22nd at 8:45 at the Grand Lucayan Resort. Keynote address by DPM the Honorable Chester Cooper, and a powerhouse roster of speakers including the Honorable Ginger Moxie, Shakira Johnson, Rupert Haywood, Dennis DeVoe, James Carey, Clynette Fowler, Juan Hernandez, Ian Rolle, and many more. Secure your spot today at tclevents.com.
It has been a fantastic Friday, as you would say, Mark.
Yeah, right.
Here on Bahamas at Sunrise. We have really just gone through so many, I want to say cause and effect relationships with society, and we've really just seen a wide spectrum of what happens when you invest in the young people around you and what happens when you invest in yourself. So I'm feeling very energized.
And I am feeling inspired. Invest in yourself this weekend. Invest in your children and the loved ones around you. Pour love into people, man. You never know what doors love could open. I say pour, I mean break the top off, dump the whole 5 gallons of love on people around you. Because you never know, man. People just need just a little sprinkling of love in their life, and we done talked about that already. So we hope you have a great weekend. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. Remember, cover the baby mole. It's Rafi, and we'll see you on Monday. Thanks for watching.
important because it helps to offer more and better banking services to people. Here are a few reasons why
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I am Shayne Hutchinson, a grade 4 student at Nassau Christian Academy.
Whenever I think of a competition, these words come to my mind. Innovation, creativity, change, choice, and technology. I am Milan, a shy but competent 10-year-old who will give my view and opinion on this important topic. Competition is essential for the Bahamian banking services because it allows customers to select the bank of their choice.